Welcome, Qube Money community. We're so excited to have you on here with us. And today, I'm super excited about the announcement we're going to make. So my name is Shane Walker. I'm the CEO, founder of Qube Money. And it is an exciting time to be part of Qube Money, as you'll see today. So, Enya, if you'll go ahead and bring up the slideshow, that would be amazing. So, Qube Money is raising money on StartEngine. And in just 5 days, Qube has raised over $1 million and is one of the fastest raising companies on StartEngine's platform. And today, I'm going to share with you why and what is coming. I guess what we've been able to accomplish as a company over the past several years, and then where we're going. And my invitation to all of you is to consider becoming an investor, owning a piece of Qube Money for the future, because of what is coming. And super, super excited about this. Okay, so let's just first of all start with, I know you're part of our community. You already know this. But the problem that we're facing as a society is mindless spending. And the reason we're facing that is because the traditional banking and payment space is ever moving towards automation. And more swipes means more profits. That's why they do that. That's why it's moving in this direction. But more swipes isn't what's best for our society, what's best for us as individuals. And spending has become so easy. Most people swipe their card dozens of times a week without ever feeling the cost, right? And so they have this constant sense of, where did my money go? And regret and anxiety. That is why we've invented the first mindful banking app in the world, Qube Money, that literally creates financial health simply by the way you bank. It allows you to organize your money based on your values and goals and spend directly from your plan, so you have real-time awareness without all the hassles and post-tracking and reconciliations, end-of-the-month reconciliations, which most people are not good at, right? And so that's why Qube Money exists. And we are playing in a space, in the personal financial management space, and the only thing really available out there are budgeting apps. And they're doing their best, but really, they're too late. They're a band-aid to the problem, because the damage has already been done. People have already spent the money, and tracking expenses doesn't change spending behavior through all the research. So what Qube Money does is it does change behavior. But the exciting thing is in this industry, okay, it's currently a $10.1 billion industry, but expected to grow to a $56.3 billion industry in the next 8 years. And so there's tremendous opportunity. And in the budgeting space, they've realized that they can't make it unless they charge a fee. And so it's a space where we can charge a subscription and create a profitable business model and really change people's spending behavior so that they can get control of their money. And like I said, budgeting apps, they really don't work. They try to help people, but looking back after money's already spent lacks the power to fix financial health crisis. And most people just aren't good at tracking expenses. And so that is why Qube Money exists. And it's a why that I'm extremely passionate about. And I know that you are also very passionate about it. As I read the reviews, the App Store reviews, the Google Play Store reviews, it's overwhelming to hear like the power of intentional spending, of mindful spending, the power of banking in a way that guides your decisions in the moment, and then it updates in real time because it's real money and reflects real purchases as you spend. Everything updates in real time, as you're all aware. Or if you're not a user yet, I strongly encourage you to become a user. Okay, so Why would you want to be an investor in Qube? Well, one, we're solving a world problem, one of the leading world problems in the world. Okay. I guess I said world twice, but one of the leading world problems. And I believe that although people don't like to budget, they don't like the restriction of budgeting, everyone wants to spend money in a way that honors their values. Everyone. Whether you're a very, like, you make a lot of money or you don't make very much money, you want your paycheck to go as far as possible and be spent in a way that creates the life that you want. And that is what Qube does. So that's the first reason. The second reason why you would want to invest in Qube is because we have created a profitable business model in a space where in the past digital banks, neobanks have struggled to create profitability. We have cracked the code, and I'm going to make some really powerful announcements in the coming weeks to drive this home. But like, for example, Chime, they're still struggling to create a profitable business model with over 5 million users. Okay. And all of them, you've seen what has happened to Simple and recently Zeta and Envel, Gazelle by Dave Ramsey Solutions. All of these, they struggled to create a positive, profitable business model. And there's two reasons why that they struggled. The first reason is because why would you use a debit card when you can use a credit card and get rewards? Unless that debit card directly solves the pain point that you're experiencing in making money behave. And so Qube Money, the debit card, as you all know, is the power in changing spending behavior so that your money does what you want it to do for you. And so our cards do 3 to 5 times the transaction volume than our competitors. And we do make about a 1% interchange share, meaning every time that card is swiped, we make almost 1% on that transaction. So McDonald's pays Visa a fee, and then Visa pays our bank, and our bank pays us. All of that is passed through to us. So that's the first reason. Then the second reason is we are charging a subscription fee. We're charging a monthly, really, account fee that's competitive with all the other budgeting apps, the most popular budgeting apps. And so that we can deliver a service and we can get to a profitable business model with way fewer, actually with as little as 10,000 subscribing customers. We are profitable based on the new partnerships that we're putting into place. Again, I will announce those in the future. So that's why you want to invest in Qube, because it's a profitable business model. It actually makes sense. It's not just hoping that we receive exponential growth so that a company will come in and buy us and then strip out all the goodness in our product so that it can be profitable. We can be profitable offering the goodness that you all love. Okay, so here's the other amazing thing. So to date, we've been in a situation with our existing sponsor bank where they haven't allowed us to really grow, and they haven't allowed us to add additional features. And I know you've all felt that, and it's been a very big challenge maneuvering through the current industry environment as a result of that. And although that's been the case, and we have had a zero marketing budget, we have grown at 2.54% per month in active users consistently over the last 2 years. And that's amazing. And right now we're adding over 400 new accounts. Actually, in June, we just added almost 700 new accounts in that 1 month. Okay. And we have watched our app store ratings go from a really kind of variable rating to 5-star, 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 4-star, 5-star, 5-star. And the only time we're seeing that we are getting like a 1-star is when we have a fraudster that we freeze their account, slow things down because, or there's expected that, because that's something we have to be aware of. Okay. And we do a great job with managing fraud as a company. And so anyways, and as a result of that growth, our recurring revenue is jumping every month. Last year, it went from 118,000 to 168,000. That is almost a 50% year-over-year growth in monthly recurring revenue. And so we are experiencing this product is something that people are willing to pay for and that they want, shown by our track record. Okay. And because we are an app store solution, like you can get us on the app store, this is extremely scalable, allowing us to penetrate the marketplace very quickly once we have the foundation where we want it, with transitioning to a new sponsor bank, which is what this raise is all about. And I'm super, super excited about that. So although we have been in a position where our growth has been limited, we have continued to build relationships with organizations that are passionate about financial health. And if you think about it, there is a direct win-win. There is a win-win business model for so many organizations because personal financial health impacts so much. So for example, on Christian churches, most of their contributions are coming from people that are 65 and older. And they're looking at that and worried about the longevity of their church if they don't tap into the younger generation. And the reason why the younger generation isn't giving is because they don't have money. And the reason they don't have money is because of mindless spending. And Qube Money solves that. And so we're finding tremendous interest from very large church organizations because they can see that this will, one, create more stability and strength in the home, in the family, in the individual, and two, create the ability for those people to get their money to behave so that they have more to give because they actually do want to give. So that's very powerful. Then we have the debt relief space. We already have a marketing agreement with Rental Karma, with others that I will announce in the future that are massive companies wanting to help people and realizing that if you don't get spending right, then the fundamental improvements in financial health can't happen. People can't save successfully over time. They can't get out of debt over time. And so Qube Money creates that, and what it does, as far as a business model proposition for the debt relief and the credit builder companies, this allows these people to stick to their plans and not default on those consolidation loans, as well as to create financial health so that people can qualify for a home loan, qualify for a car loan and things like this, because Qube Money improves their credit because they're current on all their payments and so forth. So there's a direct value add, win-win strategy with these companies. And then finally, financial literacy. There's lots of research that shows that financial struggle in the home directly correlates with the productivity and the longevity of an employee. Most of the time when someone's looking for another job, it's because they're not making enough money. And in fact, it's not necessarily how much money they make. It's how well they spend that money. And so Qube Money is literally the checking account that optimizes your paycheck and makes that money go further for people so that they have more peace and control and confidence. And then they stay in their job and they're more productive at work. So massive companies like iGrad, actually the founder is an investor of Qube Money and will be joining the board soon. keep that quiet because we haven't announced that yet. But super, super exciting. Okay. Now, what does all this mean? This means that once we make this transition, Qube Money is in a position to explode. I believe, okay, that we will 5x our annual recurring revenue by the end of 2026. Our monthly recurring revenue that will transition into 5xing our revenue, and puts us in a position where we are profitable. And that is amazing. And again, there are partnerships that in the coming weeks, I'm going to do a live event on a weekly basis over the next several months, because so much is happening so quickly, and I'm very excited to announce that to you. Okay. The other reason that you want to invest in Qube Money is because you have a team of people that have been together for 4+ years, every one of us, that are laser focused on changing the world, setting people free, helping millions of people break the paycheck to paycheck cycle, eliminate debt, and experience more peace, joy, and freedom with money. This isn't lip service. This is something that is in our heart. Qube Money is going to be here to stay. We're not building this to grow fast and just sell out to make a bunch of money. We are building this to grow fast, to help millions of people. And yes, there's a potential that we'll sell in the distant future, but we will only sell to a company whose business model aligns with the value that we create in the marketplace, and that will continue forward this mission. And that I'm not guaranteeing we're going to sell, but we're open to that. I'm just saying that we are committed to changing people's lives. That's why we've gone through this struggle, and that's why we've been able to stay, because there's been times every one of us have not been paid for long periods of time because we're passionate about this mission, or we've taken a reduced pay. And without that, we wouldn't be in business today. But it's because of the servant hearts of these individuals, and you've come to know them, and you can look at their background, but they have tremendous background in their area of expertise that has built something that I'm a product and a company that I'm very proud of. So anyways, so finally, let's talk about the offering. So we are raising $5 million to scale Qube Money to 250,000 subscriptions. And this will provide indefinite runway based on our growth rate. Now, if we grow really quickly, that probably will mean that we'll need to raise more money to support that growth, because with growth, you have a lot of upfront costs, and you also have to have the manpower to support that growth. And we want to continue to provide excellent service to Qube Money. That $5 million will be used. One, you're going to find that all of the features that you've been waiting for, instantly when we transition banks, you're going to get a tap to pay card that's higher quality. Thank you very much. You're also shortly after going to see the remote check deposit and instant money movement. And then coming in the future, there'll be other phenomenal benefits that we will add. And so 10 to 15% of this raise will go to research and development of those core features that you've all been waiting for. Okay. And then in addition to that, 40 to 50% of this is going to go into growth. Another 10 to 15% is going to be to personnel in customer support to make sure we continue to offer great customer support, and marketing personnel, which you're going to hear some really powerful announcements in this, so that we can really position ourselves to grow. This is all about growth. Now, what are the terms of this raise? Okay, we're doing this through a convertible note, and I'm going to share with you why we're going to do that with a convertible note in just a second. But this note, to the general population, to the general audience, it's an 8% simple interest. Okay, it's a 2-year note that will automatically convert into shares in 2 years, or if we have a raise of over $5 million, you'll convert at a discounted price based on the share price raise. Okay. As a friend and family, as being part of our community, if your email is in our database because you've signed up for Qube Money, because you're an existing investor, because you are a friend or a family with somebody that knows Qube Money, and we have your email address, we had your email address when we started this raise last Thursday, then you're going to get a 40 to 60% conversion discount. That means that, and that's based on how much you choose to invest. But that means that if we raise at least $5 million within the next 2 years, we'll take the share price that we're doing that raise on, and you'll be able to, we will discount that 40 to 60%, and that's the share price that your convertible note will convert into. Okay, and I'll go into a little more detail with this so that you understand. And then also the valuation cap will be a 50% discount from $40 million valuation cap to $20 million valuation cap. And that means that if we don't raise money in the next 2 years, then your shares will convert. I mean, your convertible note will convert into shares at a $20 million valuation. So let's talk through what that means, okay? And then why we've chosen to do a convertible note. So if you chose to invest $1,000 just to make it round and easy, that $1,000 will grow over the next 2 years at an 8% simple rate. So at the end of 1 year, it'd be $1,080. At the end of 2 years, it'll be $1,160. Okay, pretty simple math. If there is not a raise, which I don't think that there will be, but so it we'll take that $1,060. Well, we'll take the $20 million valuation, divide that by the total number of outstanding shares, which will give us the price per share. And then that $1,160 will be divided by that share price to give you the total number of shares. And if you think about that, if there's any additional shares issued in the next 2 years, it doesn't dilute it doesn't dilute your shares. You're going to be able to maintain like the value of that conversion throughout, because more shares just means the price per share will be less in 2 years, right? And you're going to stay at this $20 million valuation, even though the company is growing very quickly. And even if you don't get the $20 million valuation, the value today, based on our projections and based on our modeling, is actually about $72 million. It will be $72 million in 2 years. So no matter which valuation cap you get, this is still a phenomenal deal for incoming investors. Okay, now, if we do raise $5 million in equity, again, your share price, that $1,160, it would be less if it was in a year. It'd be $1,080 if we did the raise in a year, right? But that $1,160 would be converted to shares based on the share price, that raise is done, less the discount. And that discount will be between 40 and 60%, depending on how much you choose to invest through StartEngine. So I hope that makes sense on how the convertible note is a protection to you as an investor. It is a guaranteed 8% interest rate, and it guarantees the valuation of the company for 2 years, and then it automatically converts into shares. So you're in a better position. You're in a if something were to happen to Qube, the liquidation would go to the convertible notes before it would go to the equity, right? So it puts you in a better position for the next 2 years. Plus, it allows you to convert at the same price, at the $20 million valuation today. So that is what this raise is all about. And we are like, it's really cool. Qube Money, the mission is to set people free, to help millions of people break the paycheck to paycheck cycle, eliminate debt, and experience more peace, joy, and freedom with money. And in that mission, we partner with investors that are anchored in helping the financially distressed. And so we want the returns, the profits of Qube Money to go to those people that are passionate about that, because we believe that then they'll use that money to continue to make the world a better place, to continue to set people free. And it creates this beautiful circle of significance that makes the world a better place. And that's what Qube Money is all about. Now, how will you be paid out on this investment? There's two different ways, okay? One is when we hit 150,000 subscriptions, we're going to pay out a $5 million dividend. And that $5 million dividend will be paid out based on like how many shares you own. But at a $20 million valuation, a $5 million dividend is a 20% dividend, okay? And every 150,000 subscription increment, so once we get to 300,000, that dividend will double. Once we get to 450,000 subscriptions, that dividend will triple. Once we get to 600,000 subscriptions, that dividend will quadruple, right? So it'll go 5 million, 10 million, 50 million, 20 million. And as we scale this company, the profits of the company are going to be paid out to the shareholders. Now, when we get to 1 million plus subscribers, we won't be opposed to selling this company again to the right buyer whose business model aligns with helping people achieve financial health. Companies that would fit in that category would be the life insurance companies and the financial advising or the investing companies, because the more people save per month, the more people have to put towards retirement, to put towards financial health. And so they would buy us so that their sales teams would have a tool to integrate with the clients to help more people be able to invest, and more people, and those people to be able to save more money towards retirement, which increases their revenue, increases their value proposition, right? So those are the type of companies that we would be willing to sell Qube Money to, because they would be interested in improving the product to help people save more and more money on a monthly basis. Okay. So something I'm very passionate about. And like, if you were trying to figure out, man, is this a good decision? Should I invest in this? I'll say that be wise. Like, don't invest money that you can't afford to lose. This is a startup and we haven't achieved profitability yet. I project that we will achieve profitability by the middle of next year, but we're not yet. And so there is risk in this, okay? And many things that I've spoken about today are forward-looking comments. What I believe is going to happen, and I honestly believe those things. But it's important to know that with investment, any investment, there comes risk. And when it's startups, there's greater risk. But these are some very reputable people, okay, that are very well versed and wise in investing, who have chosen to invest in Qube. Daniel Apgarth, he's currently the CFO of Carson Group, considered the mother of the fintech industry, former COO of Bancorp, Joyce Melman, Brian McLaughlin, founder of Redtail, and very successful in technology development, and great person, great advisor. And then Rob Lebrecht, who's the founder of iGrad, and soon to join our board. So, and Daniel is currently on our board. So there's people that are very wise that have already invested. Now I'm going to stop sharing and come back. And before I answer questions, I want to just share one more thing with you so that you can see. Share screen, entire screen. Actually, I'm just going to do that. Share. And I'm going to make sure that this is showing. It is. Okay, good. So before, you can see, this is our page, okay, with StartEngine. And you can see that we've already raised over almost a little over $1,064,000. And that's been in less than in 5 days, you guys. Okay. And all you have to do is come to this page, and Enya, if you'll please share the link to, actually, I'll do this right now so that all of you have it. And you can go there right now. Here's the link. Our StartEngine page. So that should post to YouTube and to Facebook so that you can go there right now and you can see what I'm seeing. But you simply push invest now. And just know that with investments, there are regulations. This is regulated by Reg CF, regulation crowdfunding by the SEC. And we have followed all of the protocols to be compliant in being able to raise money on StartEngine this way. And StartEngine has definitely facilitated that. And so make sure you review the terms and conditions. There is, with an investment, a 3.5% fee on the investor side. That's a normal fee that crowdfunding platforms like StartEngine charge. And they will require you to verify your identity. And then you'll link your bank account so that you can move money into StartEngine, and that takes several days. If you want the friends and family perks, not the friends and family, if you want the early bird perks, which are the best perks that will exist through this raise, you'll want to invest by, let me see, just a second, by I would say the 9th of July. Okay, the 10th is exactly 2 weeks, and we launched this at 1 p.m. Mountain Time. And I actually haven't talked to StartEngine about how exact they will be on that time. But the first 2 weeks, the early bird perks are being run, and there's better discounts as a result of that early bird. Okay, I think that covers it. I've gone for 30 minutes, and now I'm happy to answer any questions that people have. And if you've already given me a question, here, I'll go through these, and you can continue to ask questions. Okay, so Jody, woohoo! I agree. I am so fired up about what's happening. And when you hear the announcements over the next weeks, Qube is so excited to be a part of Qube Money right now. There is a momentum behind what we're doing that I can't express. And I'm super excited to make these announcements. Okay, Eladio Gonzalez, is there a way we can get Zelle working again? So, Eladio, Zelle is owned by the traditional brick and mortar banks. They look at Zelle as the means for them to compete against the neobanks like us. And so that's never going to happen. But we have something much better coming. With Visa Direct, you're going to be able to instantly move up to $100,000. Okay, and obviously most of us won't want to move that much, but it will be, in my opinion, better than Zelle. Okay, so we have a solution for that. Jody M, Qube Money, cash envelope banking. Have you ever thought of partnering with Dave Ramsey? Qube Money is like the Gazelle debit card Ramsey Solutions had for a short time. So Jody, yes, and I've had great conversations with their executive team, with their global director of marketing, their global director of development or technology. There's one big struggle, and that is oh my gosh, what do you call his app? Every Dollar. He makes a lot of money on Every Dollar, and so that is a barrier for him to say, we want to bring in something that is much more robust and do away with that. And And obviously, we're not going to share all the subscription with him. We've done a lot of work to build this. So, anyways, I have held off making a stronger connection there until we get this bank migration, this bank transition done. Okay, but that's a great question. That Grizzly guy, Dave has a good idea, but he's grifter just like many. I don't know what that means, but anyways, Qube couldn't afford what Ramsey would ask. Okay. Rod Whitmer, we won't sell. 10 minutes later, there is a chance we sell. Okay, so like just know that in this, like, I don't totally control the future of Qube. There's a board of directors that I answer to. Okay. And I can't make all of those decisions. And because of the money that we've had to raise, I don't own over 50% of the company. If I did, then I would still, I would be able to make those decisions. So I just want to be transparent and honest that I don't want to sell Qube. I want Qube to become a company that's extremely profitable so that we can invest those profits in giving back to our investors and building an ever improving product to change lives, to create financial health, simply by the way people bank. And I'm dead serious about that. But if the right buyer comes and their vision and their mission aligns with who we are and what we're doing, we have to be open to those things. And that's not going to happen for 5 to 10 years, if it even does happen. Okay. So I understand that nobody wants that. And you've seen what's happened in the past, but guys, we've built this in a way that we can achieve profitability, unlike Simple and unlike Gazelle and unlike Envel and unlike Zeta and these others. And so we will have the choice. And I make a commitment to you. We are building this to bring value to the world for the social good, not to make a bunch of money. But the great thing is we can make a bunch of money and do the right thing because of the way that we've built this. And I am very passionate about that. And for investors, we intend to make you a lot of money. Period. Okay. Okay, Judd, I love Qube Money, but Shane, please get someone else on the team to explain these things. Nothing you're saying makes any sense. Investing is a little bit hard, Judd. So go to the StartEngine and read that. It's just all I'm talking about is things that are part of the investment world that do take a little bit of time to understand. Hey, those who have concerns, feel free to reach out to me. And there's just a lot of comments here of people responding to each other, so I'm just reading through. Joe, yes, this will be recorded and you can rewatch it. It'll be posted on all of our socials. Oh, good question. What happened with the people that invested using WeFunder? So all of you guys, if you go in and log into WeFunder, you'll see that your convertible note converted into shares. And so you'll see all of that if you log into the WeFunder platform. Good question. So yes, on the email that I'll send out, there is a disclaimer that these are forward-looking but I actually already gave that disclaimer based on like I've told you that there's risk in this investment and that this is a startup that we haven't achieved profitability at this point. And so I've given that disclaimer. What other revenue streams are there other than subscriptions? So there are, right now, there's interchange, which every time the card is swiped, like for example, McDonald's pays Visa a fee to take credit cards. They pay them about 3.25%. And Visa shares almost 1% back of that. We call that interchange revenue. So every time you use your card, we get paid from you using that. And depending on if you process it as a debit, a PIN debit, or a credit, we get paid more for credit than we do PIN debit. But there is an amount, and on average, that's close to 1% per transaction. So that's one of our ways we make revenue. The second way we make revenue is from the subscription. So those are the two ways. Now, are there other ways we make revenue? Not right now, but in the future, there will be. There will be partnership revenue with companies that we choose to partner with. I can't announce those things right now because they're still developing, but super exciting partnerships that are completely win-win for you as the user, for them as the partner, and for us. And so there are other revenues that will be coming into play actually very shortly. So with the Bing transition. Okay, isn't there supposed to be some kind of, okay, what is the minimum investment amount for us? It's $350. Okay, yep, you just said that. Is there any profitability when paying bills through the bill pay Qube accounts? No, there's not. There's a fee for us, but there's a huge benefit to you because of the being able to see like your bills and be able to turn them off. Like, you know, the value of Qube's bill system. So the granularity of being able to see your bills and easily turn them off and so forth. Outstanding, great work. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I think that we've been on this Facebook Live long enough. It's been about 45 minutes. I really appreciate all of you being here. And I just want you to know that we care about you and we think about you a lot. When we plan from a executive level down to each department in making Qube Money the best it can be, I know that there's a lot of improvements that you still want and we want, and they are coming. There's been a lot of things that we've had our hands tied that will no longer be the case. And so get ready for the future. I'm super excited about it. And if you want to become an investor, we'd love to have you join the investment team, and let's take Qube Money to the world. First of all, fill the United States, but then change the world. With that, have a great day. Thank you for being with me.